Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the second session of the second part of the Embodied Intelligence Conference. So I wanted to give you a summary of the amazing talk we had this morning. But first of all, I wanted to remind you about the whole program. So now we are just at the second day of this amazing conference. And we are running now the afternoon session. Before to move on, I wanted also to remind that we will have a in-person session of this conference at the Soft Robotics Conference in Lausanne. So here there is the QR code if you wanted to join us there. It will be amazing because we are actually the possibility to meet in person after several years that we are running this event online. Also, I wanted to remind you about some practical information. So talks will be recorded, apart some for that, we cannot for some reason. And so you can actually access the recording of the talk through this website. Please remind to keep yourself muted, so only speakers and chairs will be unmuted. However, like during the Q&A session, we might ask you to unmute yourself if you want to ask directly your question. Also, please join the WhatsApp community if you didn't do so yet. So here you can find a QR code for easy join, or here the link. In the WhatsApp community, we have several rooms, and you can also use the same community to tell us about any issue you might face in connecting with Zoom or but you can also contact us through email if needed. Of course, in the WhatsApp channel, you can continue discussion with speakers, ask more questions. But for this session, I also ask you to write your question in the chat so I can actually pick it up. So I give you now a summary of what we saw this morning. We have an amazing starting with Hiroki Ueda from Riken University of Tokyo that actually gave us an interesting talk about sleep. And also this has been followed by a very exciting set of short talk and panel discussion with Koi, Jenny, and Monsen. In particular, like in the talk of Hiroki, actually we discovered that calcium is important for sleep integration and also determine how, so when sleep is needed. Professor Ueda actually mentioned that there is some wiseness in drinking a glass of milk before going to bed. We also discovered that there are certain enzymes that act as a switch to keep us awake while other keep us asleep. And also he described us as wise methods that actually challenges the traditional synaptic homeostasis hypothesis, like by saying that actually what he discovered is that when we are awake, so our neuronal connection are in somewhat suppressed, while actually instead a deep sleep strengthen this neuronal connection. And so this is actually something very interesting and like to understand how sleep is regulated and like how the mechanism of sleep is important for our learning as well. Followed by this, we had the panel discussion, as I was saying. So we had co chairing and also providing a talk about deep learning through physical dynamics, where actually like he mentioned that like we can use body dynamics as a computer, and this of course is linked to the concept of reservoir computing that exploit nonlinear dynamics as computational resource. And also like that the recurrent neural network potentially can be replaced by these body dynamics. This talk has been followed by the talk of Jenny Herrera, that is the program director of the new ARIA funding agency. And she actually presented her opportunity space about smart machine need smart bodies. So this is actually a research program in embodied intelligence. And in particular, this program want to focus on and want to enable and fund the research that from one side, look at the hardware of our robots. In particularly, there is a dexterity focus, because it's been found that dexterity is a bottleneck for a lot of tasks that we would like to do with our robots. Also, Jenny mentioned that there is, of course, needs for better components, but also algorithm for co-design of control and body morphology. After Jenny, Monsen gave a talk about embodied interactive visual tactile perception and learning for robotic grasp manipulation. And he mentioned the importance of the embodiment in tactile perception, but also the fact that we need, of course, multimodal information. And he showed his work about cross multimodal perception. These talks have been followed by the panel discussion, and in this occasion, Arsen also joined us. The main takeaway of the talk is that, of course, the body perform computation for a specific task and in certain ecological niche. And this is also crucial for tactile perception, because actually the embodiment is part of the perception mechanism. In particular, its morphology and capabilities, of course, are enabling certain type of action exploration that influence our tactile perception. And so perception, action, and learning should be in somewhat integrated. We also discussed the fact that, of course, specifically for tactile, we need to design the technology with the body, or the embodiment has also an important role when we design the sensor. And of course, we need to adapt the design of the technology with respect to the embodiment that we have at hand. Of course, Monsen mentioned that skills can be transferred from different embodiment, but of course there are some aspects cannot be transferred. And so so perception can be somewhat different between embodiment. We also reiterate this also is linked to what I just said, that it's needed to think about co-design, embodying, and control. And in this respect, probably we need to push forward the simulation environment that enable us to do so. And that we need also to look at multimodal information because this is actually crucial to compensate lack of information from one modality with other modalities. So Monsen in this perspective was showing how we can have two different embodiments, one with cameras, one with tactile sensor, and how they can collaborate to have a better understanding, awareness of the environment, and getting all the information, not just geometric, but also physical of the environment. And finally, also Jenny pointed out the fact that the ARIA program is trying to foster synergy between research that they found, and that the different parts of the program co-evolve together within the time space of the program. So these have been the main takeaway of today. So after this, like we are starting now the next session, and like we will have Michael Levin from Tufts University that will give a talk about diverse intelligence in unconventional substrate life and beyond. After that, we will have a short talk and panel discussion, and Matej Hoffman will be the chair of the session. And we will have a coffee break followed by a plenary talk from Karen Adolf that will talk about learning to walk, lesson from babies, bots, and piglets. And after that, I will ask all the speakers to join to an amazing discussion panel. Finally, we will have the usual afternoon breakout session, the masterclass with Josie. So this is actually an highlight of all the different sessions and the speaker for this breakout. I want also to, again, remind you the community link on WhatsApp, the masterclass link if you want to join, and this is like the QR code. But now, please, like, it's my great pleasure to introduce our next speaker. Michael Levin is the Vanner Bush Distinguished Professor of Biology at Tufts University. He earned dual bachelor's degree in computer science biology from Tufts University, followed by a PhD in genetics from Harvard University. And Levin's research, that I'm sure you all know already, integrates developmental biology, computer science, and cognitive science to explore how complex biological forms and function emerge. So this is the title of the talk. As I said, is Diverse Intelligence and Conventional Substrate, Life and Beyond. And I would ask... I will stop to share my screen. Sorry, this is for later. And I ask Michael to share for his talk. Thank you so much.